I was born in a very normal family and poor family. 6 people share $7 a month. We can only eat 1 chicken a year. It was terrible. Nixon visited my city, 1972. China, USA signed, Mao Zedong-Nixon signed the agreement. So China became open door. My city, Hangzhou, was one of the first cities that opened to the West. We got a lot of American tourists to visit my city.
What he would do is he would befriend foreign visitors who came to Hangzhou to walk around the West Lake there.
And I learned English by being the free guide for tour guide.
You know, more than the language, Jack was learning about the culture.
The things I learned from books from China are so different from the things I learned from the American visitors. So I started to think differently.
You know, in China for so many decades, the kind of personal ambition that he exemplifies was suppressed. That when Deng Xiaoping came along and sort of took the top off of things and said, it's okay to have your private ambition to make something of yourself. It won't get you in political trouble. This was a kind of an invitation for people like Jack Ma.
His goal was always to create something that would change China.
When I tried to be a policeman, rejected. I tried to be a KFC person, rejected. I want to be a hotel waiter, rejected. So I get used to it. As an entrepreneur, one of the quality I have is that when I'm rejected by people, I get used to that.
The road to wherever we all end up is not always perfect. It's paved with lots of difficulty and challenge and failure, and you have to summon up some sort of strength within you to believe in yourself.
First trip to the States, and first time in my life I touched the keyboard of computers.
And he started searching things on the internet. When he searched China, nothing came up in the search results. So he said to himself, if I can put Chinese companies on the internet and allow them to connect with business people in the US and other countries, I could create possibly a really powerful business.
I call myself at that time called like a blind man riding on the back of blind tigers. Without knowing anything about technology, computer, we started the first company.
He's gone against all convention. He says that he doesn't know anything about technology. It's hard to believe.
When he started his first company called China Pages, he would go knocking on the doors of government officials. They would really just turn him away, saying that what he was doing wasn't appropriate. He should just go back to maybe teaching English.
This was opening day for something called Windows 95. It has something to do with computers.
With Deng now gone, China's future will be shaped by a great power struggle.
Well, 1997 proved to be a watershed year for Asia, the year when the Asian economic miracle became a thing of the past.
There seems to be no stopping the speeding tech train. Technology stocks keep climbing into record territory.
2000, when the internet was starting to boom in China, a friend told me that there's a company trying to go global from an apartment in Hangzhou.
18 years ago, in my apartment, I told the 18 founders that one day we will build up a site. That site will be the top 10 sites of the world. Very few people believe that we will make it happen.
Jack's greatest strength is bringing together ordinary people to do these incredible things that they never thought was possible.
When we started Alibaba B2B, we are helping small business to selling things across the board. So we think, which country has the best technology on the internet? We say USA. So we decided to build up a huge office in San Francisco.
But what happened was it created a disaster inside the company. We had a division where half the team was in the US, half the team was in China, and there was a lot of friction between the management.
So we know something wrong, we say, we have to shut down the office.
And it was at a time in 2000 when the internet bust had hit us really hard, and we were laying off staff around the world.
A lot of analysts think the internet bubble is ready to burst, and by this time next year, a huge number of those .coms might be .gone.
And Alibaba went from this sort of optimistic expansion phase to this somewhat depressing phase of cutting back. That was the only time I ever saw him doubt himself, is when he was laying off people, and I think for just a moment in time he even wondered if the company would survive. And from that moment on, he realized that being a CEO is different from being an English teacher. Being a CEO means making the tough decisions and sometimes cutting back in order to allow the company to survive. So from that moment on, I never saw Jack doubt himself again.
Those people who are below 30 years old, they are the internet generation. They are the generation going to change the future. We think data is going to be so important to human life in the future. So now we just decided we are the first runner. Compared to tomorrow, our data is nothing.
Jack Ma day-to-day is not running Alibaba. He is the visionary. He is the strategic thinker about the big picture.
Next 30 years, the technology is going to challenge a lot of job opportunities. People are already unhappy because a lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence killing a lot of jobs. People start to worry. So I think the good thing is that technology is going to improve people's life.
Jack Ma is someone who always dreams big. I mean, really big. A lot of us have dreams, but Jack's dreams almost seem unrealistic. They're so big.
Machine is good in knowledge, but human beings are good at the wisdom.
You have to stay relevant, but at the same time, you also have to be a risk taker, and you have to shake things up a little bit.
What Alibaba want to do next to 10, 20 years is to enable the innovation of traditional business, transform the world, transform all the traditional retailer, manufacturer, financing sectors.
He's created one of the largest financial services companies in the country on the back of, in a sense, Alibaba.
We are enabling small business and young people to be able to reach financial support.
They're the first private company to become and bank approved by the Chinese government. I think it's monstrous. I think it's very important. But I would think that it's also probably nerve-wracking.